What's going on, guys? It is your boy Joel TFD here. Welcome back again with a brand new review for you guys today. Today we are doing the Superman Returns review, and honestly, I think this movie is a little bit overhated, alright, in my personal opinion, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Before we get straight into this review, just want to say really quickly, definitely hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It will really mean a lot if you guys can help me reach that goal, but we're also very close to hitting 900 subscribers, so if you're new and haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. Anywho, let's get straight into the Superman Returns movie. Now, first things first, I just gotta say really quickly, James Marsden is definitely such an underrated character, honestly, because I feel like he is definitely one of the highlights of this film, to be honest. And it's crazy to think that he's in this film, honestly, like just seeing him from like X-Men, you know, and then from the Sonic movies, you know, and him returning to Doomsday, which is kind of crazy, honestly, but like it's kind of funny just to see James Marsden just kind of cameo in each movie, you know. It's funny to me, honestly. But I definitely do think he's like a highlight of this film, honestly. I really like his character, even though he was kind of pushed in the sidelines a little bit, but I still really like him as a character. Lois Lane, she bad, bro. Yo, shit. Yo, she's bad, yo, that girl. Lois, bro. Why she gotta be so bad, bro? My gosh, man. She is so fine, alright? I just had to mention that because, like, Lois, bro. She is so fine, man. Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor is something that I did not have in my list, I ain't gonna lie. And I thought he was kind of iffy, honestly. I will admit, I didn't really like him as Lex, honestly. I don't know, just something about him being Lex is kind of iffy, honestly. I guess there was like one part that I kind of enjoyed him, honestly, which was kind of like the ending, but I felt like the build-up for him was kind of slow in this film, which I think a lot of people can agree with, because I do feel like the dialogue in this is kind of a little bit too much in my personal opinion. But Superman, let's head straight to Superman himself. Brandon Routh. Honestly, I kinda liked him, honestly, but there is some parts where I was just kind of like, bro, I need more of you, man. I felt like this is definitely was a Superman movie, but it felt more like a Superman and Metropolis type of movie, honestly. Just because we had so much screen time with all of the other characters, you know, and just very little of Superman, in my personal opinion. And I feel like we didn't get enough of him as Superman or Clark, honestly. I feel like we should have definitely gotten more Superman and Clark, in my personal opinion, honestly. But I see the reason why they try to build up all the characters, you know. And again, it's like crazy to see him be Superman, you know, because like I'm so used to him being the Atom, you know, and everything. And just like I heard about this movie like a long time ago, but this is generally my first time watching Superman Returns. And again, I thought it was you know, like I do feel like it's overhated just because it is still a pretty alright movie, you know, but I do see the flaws of it, you know, the too much dialogue, Lex Luthor being honestly, and not a lot of Superman or Clark in this film, honestly, and just a lot of dialogue. I think I already mentioned that, but there's just so much freaking like Superman off screen, you know. I need to see more Superman, honestly, and I felt like this movie kind of failed doing that. Yeah, man, I wish they did more Superman and Clark content, honestly, in the Superman movie. Another thing too, man, is that I don't get how freaking slow he is, honestly, just because they were drowning. Literally, Lois, the kid, Jason, and also Richard were freaking almost drowning. And like I don't know how Richard and Clark were right there in the room when they got the coordinates, you know. I don't know why Richard got there first before Superman. Like, how the hell does one of the fastest mans alive end up freaking last place before Richard, which has no powers whatsoever? He only has a freaking jet. He literally had to go get a jet while Clark just freaking unzips and goes all the way. So I don't get how freaking slow he is, honestly. I think that's one thing that pissed me off about this film. Other than that, though, it's you know, like the movie is not the best, I will admit, but I think it's overhated in my personal opinion. The plane scene, obviously, in the beginning was beautiful. I actually really do like that. I felt like in the end too, like you could tell his face was so freaking CGI'd, honestly. And I feel like Brandon Routh's face, honestly, when it comes to this film, was so easy to have CGI because like there's no additional face fissures, if that makes sense, on him. So they were like, okay, copy and paste, basically. Literally, speaking of copy and paste, they literally did the whole thing with Christopher Reeve, honestly. And I was like, there's no Christopher Reeve. And it was kind of fun. I just kind of laughed, honestly, at the end, like, of Brandon Routh literally doing the same thing that Christopher Reeve did in the past 4 movies, honestly. But I will admit, too, honestly, that the casting for this film, honestly, did a really good job of, like, getting, like, the right actors to be young, if that makes sense, like the young actors of the original Christopher Reeve movies. I think that was actually a pretty decent like take away off in this film, just because I felt like, yeah, some of the characters like Lois, you know, I would say felt a little bit off in my personal opinion, but it still kind of like looked alike from the other like characters that were in the Christopher Reeve films and everything, and I thought it was actually pretty cool just to see all that happen, you know. I think another thing too that I was confused about is Lex in the beginning of the movie, like who the hell was the old lady in the bed. Honestly, I don't know if it was his mother or someone else, you know, but like it was just weird, just kind of, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know who the hell was that, honestly. I felt like that was just so weird. They didn't really establish who that was. So, yeah, I don't know. But that's going to be my review for Superman Returns. If you guys did enjoy this review, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know what you guys think of this film. I definitely want to know like a little bit more about why people generally don't really like this film, honestly, or if you guys did like it, what was your like favorite part about this film? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anywho, peace out, guys. To enjoy your day, make everything else today. Everyone stay positive and be positive. You guys already know to have a positive mindset. Peace.